English. And
Awesome. That's super exciting.
all the rest are business, Dave, or pure business.
Got it. All right. Well, we are going to get started. We'll let the stragglers come when they can. And
stragglers.
Yeah, those stragglers, I tell you. So welcome everybody to AllPro Virtual Networking. Our Dave is on the road, if you can't tell. We have Ghost AllPro Dave on one side, and then we've got Driving Dave on the other. So we are really excited that you're here because, as you can tell just by the scenery that some people are having right now, you can network from anywhere. You're not restricted to having to go to a particular location, don't have to buy lunch, don't have to drive there to start doing it. So we're very excited that all of you are here. The format of our event is pretty simple. Highly encourage you to use the chat feature. That's an opportunity for you to introduce yourself, tell us how to connect with you, what you're working on, who you're looking for. And let me just go ahead and hold on. Mute you all real quick. It's an opportunity for you to just let us know who you are, who you're looking for, and how we can serve you. Also, throughout the event, please take advantage of that chat. You can post comments and questions. I will be running all of the unmutings and mutings, so bear with me. That's usually why Dave and I pair up on this, so we can kind of co-host together. But we will get started by doing some introductions, and then today we don't have a speaker, but I am a huge fan of Marie Forleo, and I think most of you probably know who she is. If you don't, you're about to, because once we're done with our introductions, I am going to share a really great video that I think is going to hit home to a lot of you, and it's about being paralyzed around perfection and sometimes us getting in our own way and not launching things or doing things that we really want to do because we're waiting for them to be perfect. So then we'll wrap up with talking about some events, and we'll get on our merry way to all the other things that we have to do today. So let's go ahead and start with introductions. So Stephanie, do you want to introduce yourself first here?
Hey everyone, my name is Stephanie OBrien. I'm a fiction author, comic artist, video editor, and marketing coach and copywriter. I've published 4 books through Amazon's Kindle, and I help business owners to attract more clients by helping them to figure out what marketing materials they need and what to say in those materials. And if they don't have time or desire to create their own materials, I write the materials for them. If you want to get your marketing work done for you, you can check out my website at www.coachclientconnection.com. And if you want to check out my novels, art, and webcomics, you can see them at stephanieobrienbooks.com.
Fabulous. Thank you, Stephanie. Glad you're here. All right. And Jill.
I'm Jill Weishart, and I'm the managing director of bizbud.com, which is a peer-to-peer community where business owners get matched up, kind of like Match.com, and have somebody to be accountable to and to talk to. And in addition to that, I'm a partner with my husband with a company called Yellow Schmellow. And right now we've just licensed something called 3% Leads, which is a new lead gen product, which is guaranteed to be 100% human, no robot fraud. And if you want to know about either of those, chat or give me a holler.
Love it. Thanks, Joe. All right, Drew.
Hello, everyone. It's Dru Shockley from Biz Ed and Call to Action Alliance. I am still in Denver for 4 more days. On Tuesday, I relocate to Oregon. Excited about that. Boost Biz Ed is a still free actionable business education workshop that's hosted about every Wednesday here in the Denver area, 2 locations in Denver, 2 locations in Westminster, expanding to other locations, including Oregon, hopefully Florida, Dave, and other places where we just kind of provide some actionable education where people can make some immediate improvements to their business. The allies who participate, they benefit from the leads that are generated by offering continual value, and then being able to follow up with those leads. Yeah, boostbized.com is where you can find information on that. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew. All right.
Thank you.
And Miss Holly.
Oh, you
Oh,
unmuted me
I
already.
unmuted you. Yeah, I was like, nope, hey.
Slow down there,
There's like a
Kathy.
little mute battle going on.
Drew, you didn't do your passion thing.
Oh yeah, do it. He's doing it muted, but it still works. Passion.
Yay! Okay, everybody. I'm Hollie, Clere, the Social Media Advisor. I help people with social media marketing techniques where they're not throwing spaghetti at the wall, but they've actually got strategy with building know, like, trust relationships with their audience. My focus this week is actually to encourage anyone who could be in or around the Denver metro area to come to Social Media Day Denver. We only have 50 tickets left, and it is not an event for just marketing people. It is an event with social media influencers intended for entrepreneurs, anybody who has a Facebook or uses online. So that's what I'm looking for this week, is anyone who might be interested to grow their business using online and want some resources within a 14 speaker presentation from social media influencers. Is going to be really, really powerful. And it's June 30th. Look up socialmediadenver.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Hall, will you put that in the chat?
Roger.
Do please. Thank you. All right. And next up, we have from his car, Adam Kemper.
Hello, everybody. Where's Waldo's edition this week of Where's Adam? I'm Adam Kemper with Employer Essentials. We do payroll, staffing, and HR. I always like to give examples of people we have or are helping. It's a lot easier to help understand what we do. Anywhere in that operation suite that isn't working. So this week I'm working with a 125 employee janitorial service that has an in-house HR person, but they're really not succeeding with the payroll and the employee tracking and the timekeeping system. So we're going to come in and just do payroll for them. We're not going to do any HR, benefits, anything. We're just going to get their employees paid because that's what they need in this case. So when you know a business owner that's struggling with that operation space and struggling under the weight of the monkey on their back, we come in and get Harris tamed up and on to running a business and having a life.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in your car. On the road again. Always on the road.
That's right.
All right. Okay. And Jade, can you hear us? We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Yay, okay. I'm Jade Alexander, which you cannot see, from Found Synergy Videography, and you would think as a videographer I'd be able to work on webcam. However, I just upgraded my computer and Logitech is not my friend today. So pretend you know what I look like,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. At Found Synergy Videography, we help our small business owners, friends, and neighbors create a strong videography platform for their marketing. And we want to make sure that everyone out there can afford the very expensive videography at a not expensive rate. Are we talking about passion? I'm not really sure what we're talking about with that exactly.
With what? What? That was a
Are we
great
talking about
introduction.
Our passion? Do we have to talk about a passion?
No, I think that you
Okay.
heard us talking about Drew's tagline.
Oh, okay. Well, I should know
But
that.
if you want to share your passion, go for it.
I like art, not math. Does that count like a passion? Because that's where
Yes,
I'm
it
at.
does.
So,
Yep.
okay. Awesome.
Amen, sister.
I appreciate it. I might have more technical difficulties, so if I pop out, I'll try and pop back in. So
Okay.
think positive thoughts. Thanks,
Sounds
you guys.
good. Yeah, you bet. We're glad we can at least hear you. All right. And Dave, do you want to take a second to introduce yourself while driving?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Dave Kramer from AllPro Web Tools. My passion is helping small business owners to be successful in their business. And I think that in order to be successful, you've got to be able to track and measure what's working and what's not working in your business. So that was why I created AllPro Web Tools. And I'm very excited to expand my horizons and head out to Florida and meet even more small business owners.
So exciting. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dave. And Tim.
You unmuted me.
I did, yes.
Hey, sorry, I was like Jade, I also had computer problems of all things.
The irony of that, I tell you.
Yeah, I got a little bit too crazy with the overclocking earlier before the meeting. So I'm Tim Washburn. I own Integrity Technologies. We're a full service IT company, specialized in business IT and creating platforms out of our data center for you to run your business more efficiently on.
Fantastic. Well, we're glad that you figured out your technical difficulties and that you're here. See, even the best still have issues. It's all good. All right. And I am Katie Myers. I'm the CEO of CR Conversations, and I help entrepreneurs avoid the entrepreneurial F word, failure in their sales conversations. So I take entrepreneurs through my proven program and processes, from knowing what to say from a networking event to getting to that next step, through follow-up activities and customer retention, so their customers stay with them and love them for a lifetime. So very excited. I think I got everybody on here. So today I mentioned that I am a huge fan of Marie Forleo. Marie Forleo is a business and life coach, and she is absolutely a celebrity. I found her, gosh, I don't know, years ago, just by playing on YouTube and finding things about, you know, how to run a business. And she really inspired me, and she connected me, or connected with me. And I go back to her. She has new videos all the time. She works with people like Richard Branson and Oprah, and is just an incredible personality and somebody that I aspire to be like. And she's really helped to change my business and my life. And so when I was thinking about, okay, we don't have a speaker today, so what can we talk about? I was inspired by Dave's Bushman video last week, for those of you that saw it. For those of you that didn't, definitely go back and watch last week's virtual networking. It was great. But I found a video, and this topic is specifically around how we get into paralysis because of trying to make something be perfect. So if there are projects or programs or services or even things in your personal life that you really want to do, but you're not doing it because it's just not perfect yet, this video is for you. So I am going to share my screen and we can watch it together, and then I want to just have an open discussion around it. All right, here we go.
Not getting any sound.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. We're recording from a couple of different things here. Okay. So because this is not my genius zone, I'm just going to tell you what this video is about. How does that sound? All right. So let me stop sharing this. Okay. So let me unmute you all.
Katie?
Yep.
You can do the audio if you just reshare it. Before you hit the blue button, there's a little button that says share audio. Just click that and then hit the blue button.
Hold on. Let me see.
You hit the green button for share, and then you hit the little audio button, and then the blue button for share.
Oh,
and then that'll
where it
share your
says
audio.
share computer sound? How about that button? That sounds like a good button. Okay, here we go again. Hold, please. Okay, nice. Start it back over. All right.
Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and you are watching Marie TV, the place to be, hand-thong to create a business and life you love. And this is Q&A Tuesday. And today, I have a question for you. I got to ask you, do you ever stop yourself from creating something you really want to do because you look to someone you admire and you think, oh my God, I am never going to be as good as them? So if you're like many people I talk to, you're probably stopping yourself from producing something, writing something, sauteing something, because you're not willing to start small or start sucky. In other words, you are stuck in perfection paralysis. Now, if this sounds like you, I got a little story that I hope will help you come out and play. As you may know, I started out my life coaching business when I was 23 years old, and I had big dreams. I knew I wanted to teach a lot of people really great ideas that would help them improve their life. So my dreams were loads of people and a big stage and all that jazz. But the reality was I was just starting out and I hardly had any clients. I was just in the baby stages of building my business. But I was so pumped from my coach training, and I was learning all of these cool new ideas, and I just had to share them with others. So I decided to hold my first workshop, and it was titled How to Create a Life You Love. And it was incredibly well attended by 5 people. It was my yoga teacher, Clere, 2 friends that she dragged around from the neighborhood, and my parents. Now, I was very professional. I did have a venue. It was Claire's basement in Summit, New Jersey. And of course, it was a workshop. So I had workshop materials that I created myself with Microsoft Word and some very fancy clip art. And of course, every workshop, right, you have to have an easel. So I had a nice easel with the markers to make sure that the entire crowd could follow along. Looking back, I kind of get douche chills thinking about giving a workshop to 5 people in a basement. It feels really painful and kind of pathetic. But the truth is, there is absolutely nothing painful or pathetic about it. I mean, I took a risk, I did something, I put myself out there, and I did my very best to deliver value to all 5 of those people. That small and sucky workshop gave me the courage to keep going, because guess what? I had already done my lamest workshop. Bam! In the bag. Nailed it. I'll tell you, that confidence and that momentum really fueled me ahead. Don't forget, every pro starts off as an amateur. So the next time you find yourself stuck in perfection paralysis, take a tip from this tweetable tongue twister. Starting small and sucky beats staying stucky. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Then say it 3 times fast. Now, I would love to hear from you. So, are you stopping yourself from doing something because you're not willing to be anything less than polished or perfect? Or how about this one?
All right. So, that is Marie Forleo. So, I am just going to go based off of what her questions were. I want to just kind of pop around since we've got a little bit smaller of a group. Let's go ahead and just, if you have questions, chat them, or I will just call people out. So Stephanie, you have a really great point right there. So do you want to share that?
I was just commenting on that thing she said about how you officially done your worst webinar or your worst workshop. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the first time I tried to do a webinar, I actually didn't have any listeners, which was possibly a good thing because I was ad-libbing, and oh my goodness, was I bad at ad-libbing it. So, if you don't succeed brilliantly and have hundreds of people in the first one, it might just be a good thing because you're getting some practice and you don't just need that practice badly.
Exactly. There's a reason why they say practice makes perfect, right? And I think that goes for all of the different things that we have. And you have to be able to just start somewhere. Hollie, I want to hear your thoughts on this because, and then I'll go to you, Dave. Because for somebody that I know does a lot of workshops and does things and is, you've been in business for over 7 years, right? What is your experience with having to overcome perfection before you launch something?
So I always have to remind myself that nobody knows what I'm going to say before I say it.
Yes.
And so with that in mind, if I mess up, so be it. One of the things that I dislike most is doing things that aren't live. mostly because I am that perfectionist, and so I have to record myself over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then I forget, like, what was the point? Right. So I've kind of found that in my own bubble, put yourself out there, do it, try it on the first time, change some things for the next time. Don't overstep yourself and recorrect as it's going on. But seriously, if you watch yourself and you're super uncomfortable, so be it. You know, just put yourself out there, because nobody else sees the things that you see or hears the things that you hear. They just want to hear from you and learn from you. Right. And there's not enough time in the day to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Amen, sister. Well, and I think that's just, it's such good feedback, because we are all our own worst enemies, right? We get in our own way and we come up with this head trash of they're not going to like that. We make up assumptions of what it's going to be like, and you're the expert. You need to remember that, and people are there to see you, even if, just like with hers, my first workshop, I think, was the same. I think I have one person that came to my first workshop, and you just have to learn from that and just see the success in how far you've come, even just in creating that content. Dave.
So when I was watching that, it reminded me of our launch party. I know that AllPro Web Tools Launch Party 4, many of you are familiar with, but you may not know that we had a launch party before that. And I think we had about 40 people who showed up to that, and it was extremely informal, and I think we even had the easel with the white paper on it. But, you know, we learned from that, and then Launch Party 4, we really turned it up a notch, and I think we had 200 people in attendance for that one. So I definitely agree. You got to kind of start small and figure things out and work your way up.
Absolutely. And with anything, so we've talked about, you know, in different, she's specifically talking about a workshop. Hollie's talking about experiences. And I think also with what Hollie is sharing is also just on social media in general, right? People are terrified to go on there. Yeah, Tim, what do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true just in general. I mean, you know, you have to start somewhere with your business, you know, whether it's, you know, out of your house, out of your small office. You know, I look back at my experience when I opened up a very small storefront, and I had one employee that grew to 3, and I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? But, you know, my dreams were, you know, okay, this is going to grow in the first year, you know, as large as it did, you know, after I moved to my larger storefront. But, you know, hindsight, I look at it and go, you know, if we would have had this success from the get-go when we moved to our bigger storefront 2.5 years in, there's no way I would have been a leader or a manager to even take care of that. You know,
absolutely
burned a lot of bridges, I think, just in really poor management, poor leadership.
Sure. So I think that there's beauty in the baby steps, right? Mm-hmm. And so often as entrepreneurs, we want to be here and not do any of the stuff in the middle, right? We just want to go from like, I'm starting a business to I want to have all of the customers that I want to be the manager I want to be the entrepreneur I want to be. But there are so many stumbles and failures we have to learn from, because most of the time we don't really learn from the good stuff, right? So like with Marie Forleo, if she had you know, like this amazing venue and had 100 people at her first workshop, just like you were saying, Tim, if you had started out with all of that success, you wouldn't have learned from the kind of baby steps that you needed to take. And I think that it's really important to pay attention to those little successes that we have along the way and the stumbles that we have also.
And I think appreciate those steps and those failures and where you've come from as well.
You bet. Absolutely. It's humbling, right?
Absolutely.
And you made a good point, Tim, when you said, you know, like starting out of your house. My first office was Solid Grounds Coffee Shop, which is, I can walk to it from my house. It's just down the street. And I went there the other day because I was working on a project and I just needed to get out of my normal space. And it's like, they have these itty bitty tiny little rooms that you can rent, and they smell awful, and the chairs are all wrecked, and like, you know, were clearly just donated because all of the chairs mismatched and the tables are just awful and there's permanent stuff written on the whiteboards. And it really made me think, because when I first started, I wanted to have the office, I wanted to have this, but I appreciate it so much more because that's where I started. That was my first office. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Drew, or yeah, go ahead. Who was just gonna say something?
If Drew has something, go ahead.
Drew, okay. Hold on, Drew, you're muted. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
You can hear me now. Awesome. Yeah, this is a cool topic. Thanks for finding that video and sharing it with us. One thing I might add, well, I found it in doing the Boosty that it really helps to have iterations, that it's not just one event, but it's,
Yes.
and so it kind of helps us put in the mindset, okay, it's not going to be perfect, but you can make it perfecter the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And the constant, just kind of refinement, but you set that pattern, then you know you have another one already scheduled. It's gonna be better, you know. But I'm a perfectionist, so I can over engineer things. So it does help me to have iterations for, okay, let's keep making it better. For those starting out, I would think it's good to set a date and just go for it, you know, so you can at least get the momentum going, because dates are so, and if you can even announce it in a group like this, I think that accountability helps as well.
Yes.
I shy away from that, but I heard it's a good thing. So.
You heard it's good for people. Maybe you should talk to Jill about that. Oh, that's awesome. All right, Adam.
Okay, this is first meant not to sound arrogant in any way, but I don't struggle with perfection. There's a coach, a sports coach, who did a lot of writing that I read prolifically, and if you don't know already the name John Wooden, you should learn him about what he wrote about in leadership and success. He has something called the Pyramid of Success, and one of the things that's kind of interesting is, just like you would build a pyramid, you build each layer. And the starting layer is industriousness, friendship, loyalty, cooperation, and enthusiasm. And one of the things he talks about when he breaks down each layer is, you know, if you did your best, then that is success. Perfection isn't defined by outside forces. Something that he wrote in his biography that really caught me: the guy won in 12 seasons at UCLA, he won 10 national titles. But the team that he recognized as the best team he ever coached was one of the two teams that didn't win the national title. Mm-hmm. And his reasoning was because as he put it, no team he ever coached got closer to achieving their full competency or their full potential than that team. Wow. So it wasn't about perfection even then. It was the team that actually lost did the most to achieve what was within them successfully. Mm. And so, you know, perfection usually comes from outside sources and other people's definitions. And so something with what Maria said, that, you know, I like the way she turned it, but I think that a 5-person event can be perfect if that's your first event. And it can be a situation where you walk away learning and making friends and getting loyal people and creating cooperation and being enthusiastic about what you do. And that's built you for the next level of your growth.
Absolutely. It's such a good point, Adam. And I think something that you touched on that's important for all of us is just perspective, right? And not comparing ourselves. That's how she started out that video, was like, if you're looking at somebody that you admire. So here's a fun fact. So my Talk It Out Tuesdays were inspired because of Marie Forleo's Q&A Tuesdays. And I went back and I looked at her very first video on YouTube, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos ago. And she was in a tank top and sweatpants on her couch in her apartment with her laptop on her lap, and she did her first video. And that was, okay, you know what? Comparison is a really horrible game, because of course I was comparing myself to the videos she does now. And you just have to get started. You just have to. And I love that just not comparing yourself to somebody else's perfection is important. Jill, do you have anything that you want to add to that?
we haven't talked about, which I think is important, and it comes from my corporate background. Entrepreneurs tend to not practice, primarily because we don't have the time, or we don't think we have the time. Where in the corporate world, you have a meeting to prepare for the meeting, to prepare for the workshop, to prepare for the whatever,
Right.
and have the debriefing. And I think that we may not want to take it to that same extreme, but find somebody that you can practice your workshop on, that you can do things with, and you'll find that you get rid of some of the rough edges, and they'll ask some really great questions. And I know that that's something I see, especially in entrepreneurs who are scaling, is they don't take the time to practice and make sure that they have, you can never be perfect, but if you practice, you're going to get rid of some of the things that are going to come out if you don't do anything.
There you go. And I think with that, Jill, I think so much of the fear that we have and what really equals perfect for a lot of us is just the confidence in ourselves, right? And you get confidence through practice. So like Stephanie, when you were saying like your very first webinar and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I was ad-libbing and I was blah, blah, blah. It's being able to recognize that in yourself and go, okay, maybe I need a little bit more of a structure, or here's how I really want to be perceived, I think is a very big piece of that. So,
and I bet you never winged it again.
Right.
Yeah, and part of sucking the first time is learning what you're good at, what you're not good at, where you need to practice, and where you just need to try a different strategy. Don't give up on the goal, but give up on a strategy that just doesn't work for you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dave, do you have anything else you want to add? He shakes his head. No, he doesn't. We covered it all. It's perfect.
And
awesome.
If you do screw up, you can just, laugh it off, make a joke about it, make it something that adds to the fun, or that shows people you're human too. And,
right.
You're leading by example. You're showing that you don't have to be this perfect, polished, super practiced person to succeed. If you can do it despite screw ups, they can too.
Right. Exactly. There's so much about just being relatable, being human, and just owning, like we said earlier, around just owning that your failures are what is truly going to bring you fortune. Bless you, Tim.
And you're working behind the scenes with some really big, like 7-figure companies. They're the ones that are thriving, they're succeeding, they look really polished on the outside, but I'm the one doing the video editing and such behind the scenes. So I see all the stumbles, the blah, 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 the oh crap, why is my camera not working?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
It happens to everyone.
Nothing
So,
is
Katie?
perfect. Yeah.
I didn't want to comment because I was going through some major traffic, but I'm okay now. I just wanted to thank you because I remember your first Talk It Out Tuesdays, and I think you had like a curtain behind you or something.
I did, with a construction light that almost caught that curtain on fire. Yeah.
And I remember us talking about that, and I'm kind of more that perfectionist for video, and I was like, Katie, you got to have this and that and da-da-da. But what I was really missing was your content was incredible, and what you were producing was awesome, and people weren't really paying attention to that. They were paying attention to your words. And so you actually inspired me to start posting videos, and so I really thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, and it's, there's a lot of those Katie stories for sure about, oh my gosh, my first thing. And if you all haven't done this, I would start doing it because we're all constantly evolving. I basically have like a business scrapbook. It's not like formally put together, but I have like screenshots of my first website. Good Lord. I have my first business card. I have just even documents that I created, like my first sales sheet. And just realized that looking at all of that, like, that didn't keep me from getting business. It didn't keep me from moving forward. And it just makes me appreciate now, like, okay, now that I know better and I own more of who I am, I can make different decisions. But all of those crappy little pieces of things that I had made throughout the years have made me to be where I am now. So I encourage you to do that for yourself. It's pretty fun.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So, okay, well, let's take the last couple of minutes to talk about any events that you have upcoming or something that you want to share with us. Drew, do you want to go first?
Oh, give me a second.
Okay. Then how
Let me
about
pull it up,
second?
sorry.
Okay, you're good. Stephanie, go ahead.
I've got a little celebration on my fiction writing end. I've published my first ever paperback copy of a book.
Wow,
good.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
And it's actually on sale for a reduced price. I dropped the price as low as I could while still accommodating the actual cost of physically printing the things. I'll put the link in the chat.
Please do. What is this about?
The book is called Cat Girl Roommate, a cat lover's comedy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Basically, as a lifelong cat owner, I've noticed all sorts of ridiculous habits my cats have. And I was thinking one day, can you imagine what an epic pain in the butt that would be if it was a human-sized person doing that? Huh. So I took the concept of cat girls, and instead of making it, cute, sexy Catwoman type thing,
Yeah.
I made her actually act like a cat. So the kind of thing cat owners look at, read. I know, right? My cat did that to me too. Only now I can laugh at it because it's someone else's misery, not mine.
Love it. We will go and check that out. That's awesome. All right, Drew, are you ready?
I'm ready now.
Okay, go.
All right, the next two Biz Ed events are the next one's in Westminster next week, featuring Peter Kent, talking about online marketing strategy made simple. This and the next one, they're all not to miss, but this one especially, because Peter Kent has worked with hundreds of companies, including major brands like Amazon, et cetera, with their digital marketing, but he has boiled it down to be something more simple that we can all do something with. So I'm excited about him presenting on the 14th. Then on the 21st, Laura Tencio will be talking about publish a book and quadruple your business. That'll be at the Denver location. That's on 6/21 at 9:30 in the morning at the Wednesday. Or you can catch it online, because we do put it on Facebook Live. We did make that leap this year. So you can see our imperfect recording either at the time of the event or later on.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Does anybody else have anything? Anything else? Good. Adam, are you raising your hand, or are you just maneuvering?
No, I'm
What's happening? Oh,
the month.
Yeah, here you go.
you're battling me for muting you. Nope. Now you're muted. Don't hit the button. Don't hit the button. Stop hitting the button.
Sorry. All right. So on the third Tuesday of each month through the summer, there is a golfing networking event here in Denver called Corporate Tee Box. I'm a part of that. It's business owners. One of the organizers uses a phrase that is one I love so much: no leg humpers. So if you know people who are not salesy, want to network with business owners and C-level executives on the golf course, let me know. I will connect you with it, but it's Corporate Tee Box here locally.
What time is it?
Starts at 11 o'clock, goes till probably 3 or 4, maybe even later. We do lunch and like light appetizers afterwards.
Awesome. Well, thank you, group. That was a really good discussion. I appreciate all of your participation, and I hope that if there's anything that you're maybe thinking about working on or launching or whatnot, that you have the support around you to just go out and do it. It does not have to be perfect. So next week we have a really great topic of a speaker. Her name, I wrote down somewhere right there. Her name is Hannah Gushert-Jones, and she represents Colorado Enterprise Fund, which is a pretty amazing, I believe they're a nonprofit organization that helps entrepreneurs get the funding that they need in alternative funding ways. So if you feel like you're needing it or just want to be educated more in the realm of financing for your entrepreneurial business, definitely check that out. It's going to be a really great presentation. So thanks to Dave for getting that hooked up. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Make it productive, make it imperfect, because it's going to be great no matter what you do. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you. We'll leave it open for a little bit. If anybody wants to chat and hang out, I'll unmute y'all.
Oh, Katie, don't go anywhere yet.
Not leaving. What's up?
She's coming
You got
to
the
you right now.
Yeah, right?
You have email I sent you, Holly, as well?
Her ears are off. Hold on.
Oh, I didn't
Did you
see
say
that.
something?
I sent you an email connection. I saw you got that as well, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Excellent. So I was talking with Katie this week about my emoji pillow collection in my office. And I promised
There's
I would
such a
show.
thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's
Duh.
such a thing.
So I promised that I would show some of them. Okay, so this is the smiley face.
Love it.
This is Mr. Toast. This is pink poop.
Or strawberry ice cream, right?
I thought it was frozen yogurt for the longest time.
It is not.
It's pink poop.
Right,
Yeah,
Deadpool
here it is again,
reference.
just for you.
Unicorn poop.
And here's the unicorn.
The unicorn.
Deadpool's other sidekick.
So you got the unicorn and the poop it makes.
Yes.
Exactly. There you go.
Front end, back end.
Yeah, and I even have one for my keys, see?
So awesome.
Yeah.
You're already got your advance tickets for the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, well, it's the day after my birthday. Well, it's the day before my birthday, so I'm going for my birthday.
And you know who plays poop, right?
No.
Patrick Stewart.
That's awesome.
That is
Jean-Luc Picard, Charles Xavier, and the poop emoji.
The formal poop
That's
emoji.
quite the repertoire.
On that note, fellas, I'm heading out of here.
Yeah.
Bye, Sam.
You're gonna leave
Hit
on
them.
the note?